Hi, folks. My name's Karen Case. I'm going to be facilitating your Comp 1050 Business Computer Applications 1 course this spring semester. As you probably have recognized that this is an 8-week course, so we start on today, April 24th, and we run to Friday, June 16th. You'll note in the welcome in the Brightspace page, and I am sharing the our page, so this is our course number, etc. But under the content, under the welcome, you'll see that I do have a welcome there as well for you when you do go into Brightspace on your own. But nonetheless, I wanted to just touch base and say hello and put a face to the name, and also, just to go over a couple of things in the welcome. But I am going to be doing a few videos that will be in different parts of the Brightspace page. The first one is going to be the welcome. Then I'll have a video on how we will use the Brightspace, which is going to be very short because we don't really use the Brightspace for anything really, except for the first assignment, which is the email assignment, which I'm going to go over all of that with you in the video that are upcoming. So the how we will use the Brightspace will be housed under, and I have these located on the left hand side where the modules are. These are all kind of the how-tos and resources before we get started, and this is really where other multiple resources are going to be available to you. But for the most part, for Word, Excel, and PowerPoint, that will all be taking place in MindTap. So as you will note, I do have a second module on MindTap and how to register. So I have some written instructions here on how to access. For those of you who have been in MindTap and have used it already, then this will be no problem for you, and you should be able to just go on in through this link and register into my course, which the course name is here, Comp 1050 Spring 2023 with Karen. But that's for people who've used MindTap. Those of you who have not used MindTap, you definitely want to probably take a look at the video. I also sent out an invite for Teams meetings on Monday or today, the 24th, for 9:30 with you folks. No, I think it's 10:30, sorry. 10:30 till 11:30. It's optional, but I'm going to just go over the same things that I'm going over in the video. So let's say you get started on Monday and you're going into MindTap and you have your code from your book and you're a little lost, then please join me in one of the two team sessions. I have one in the morning, and I think the other one I have for you folks is at 6:30 that evening. But nonetheless, I sent you an invite for that. It's optional again, but if you are new to MindTap, then I would highly suggest that you join one of the two sessions. If not, if you can't make either one on Monday, again, the course is starting right away, so don't hesitate to connect with me if you need help getting into MindTap and figuring that part out if you aren't able to come to the two team sessions, and we can meet individually. But again, the course is going to go quick. You can start the first assignment, which is the email assignment, which is not connected to the MindTap. But for the following week, before the end of this week, you definitely want to be all registered for MindTap and ready to go. So we have a little time to get in there. So if you can't make the sessions on Teams, then please connect with me and I can help walk you through that process. First and foremost, though, you have to have purchased the book. If you are a former MindTap user or you've used it this past year, then your access to MindTap is still good and you should be good to go. But again, you'll need access to the textbook, whether the e-version or the hard copy. And I sent you all an email regarding those, and you can get those through the eCampus bookstore. For those of you who have not used MindTap and don't have access to it, you have to purchase the textbook. You can't get a used textbook for this because you do need to access the code that comes along with it. It comes along with that book to be able to get into MindTap. So that's kind of the word on that. And I think I mentioned that in the email that I sent you all last week as well. So again, this will be the next section, and I'll also have a video posted in here. Oh yeah, I do have a little link there to go to the video around instructions on registering for MindTap. So you can click on that as well, but please read through and then use the video also as a resource. And then the third module is how to use MindTap in the textbook. So there are some things you have to know about using MindTap and in Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. Uh, they will all have a textbook component, which is really what is considered the training portion. So there is training for each module for each one of those MS software. So there's Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. Each have modules within that textbook that have training. It's simulated training. So I'm going to go through that a little bit in a video in this section as well. But you certainly can, and you will notice inside this module that it's very wordy and there's a lot of information, but just take your time and go through it. I will go through some of this stuff in those team sessions, and really this talks about how we use the textbook and MindTap, and then there are assignments, and those assignments are all done through MindTap. The textbook projects that you'll see, and this is just an example of what your MindTap looks like. These are done in SAM or in MindTap, but you also will be using your textbook because that's where the instructions will come, whereas the assignments are done differently. So I will be talking about that in a brief video as well in this section. So these two opening modules and the welcome are extremely important before you can get started when we dive into Word towards the end of the week. Some of you may get that email assignment done very quickly and want to get started. So again, getting set up and registered for MindTap and knowing how to access that, where to get the files to be able to complete your assignments is crucial. And it really is the part that's most important at the beginning of this course. And that tends to be where students get a little stuck. So hopefully you can join me on Monday. Again, if not, please connect with me at some point early on in the week, and I can meet with you briefly to go over any specific questions you may have, or if you're a little stuck getting registered for MindTap. However, I'm just going to reiterate, you have to have the book new, and you have to have the MindTap code that comes along with a new book. The other thing I will note, and I did mention in the email that I sent, you really, if you are a Mac user, and I have it in the FAQ, it's not really supporting. It doesn't support MindTap, or MindTap doesn't support Apple products really. It can work, but it's glitchy and it tends to not work great. The college is a Windows-based school, so we don't have any tech support either for Apple products. So again, I do have an FAQ on that. If you are a Mac user, please take a look at the FAQ, and there's information in there, which basically is suggesting that you figure out another source of the computer that you're going to use to be able to complete these programs. All right, that's all I'm going to say for the welcome. Again, my name's Karen. You can contact me via email at karen.case@nstc.ca, or by Teams. If I'm on Teams, you can certainly connect with me on Teams chat. The other thing too, again, just make sure when you come in to the course that you're going into the welcome and you're checking out all of our work plan, kind of the due dates. Everything is located in the work plan. The due dates are also in your Brightspace calendar. Those are all plugged in, so you can make note of all of the dates that are coming up as well. Again, this is a 60-hour course crammed into 8 weeks, so it is very intense and it's very busy. So just be prepared. You really can't let things go as we get going, because there was one assignment after another. So please, if you're getting behind or you feel like you're maybe not able to manage that, connect with me early. We'll see how I can be supportive of you, but we really only have a set period of time. So looking for extensions or needing more time to complete assignments could be problematic. So just be aware of that. I generally don't have a huge problem giving extensions during the run of a year or when we have a 15-week semester, as long as I get the request before something's due. But when it comes to the spring semester course, it's so short and there's so much happening each week that if you get behind 1 week, it can be really tough to pick up the pieces. So just keep that in mind, and please connect with me if you are beginning to struggle, and we may have to think about some options. But nonetheless, hopefully everybody is going to have a pretty easy time getting through it. These are really introductory modules into each one of these computer applications, so it's very much an introductory level. It is very self-directed. Obviously, this is an asynchronous course, so that means there is no instructional time. I'm basically here to support you. If you have questions, you can connect with me. I also have a Q&A set up in each one of the modules in Brightspace for people to post questions that they may have in there, and we can all kind of support each other if we see the post, but I'll be checking those fairly regularly. But yeah, so hopefully if you have uh, any questions or you need to connect with me outside of your own time, then please let me know and we can certainly make a time to meet. I don't think I mentioned, actually, I didn't even say this because I know you guys are from all over the province. I actually live in an area called Lakevale, Nova Scotia, just outside of Antigonish, about 15 minutes or so. And I work and I'm housed at the Straight Area campus in Port Hawkesbury. So that's where I teach face-to-face. But for this course, I'm home. All right, folks, take care. Good luck. And make sure to review all of the modules before jumping into anything, all of the how-tos, the welcome, and all of the other pieces of content that are there for you to help you get started before you jump into starting the work itself.